Hello and welcome to TSL Talk for round 12. Today we're joined by one of TSL Talk veterans, Hobart Captain Andrew Lim. Andrew, thanks very much for coming in.
Not a problem.
It's been a disappointing last 3 weeks for Hobart. You had the chance to go a long way to tying up a spot in the top 6, but had losses to Lauderdale, Glenorchy and a thriller to North Launceston last week to make it a real battle now, isn't it?
It is. We've got an uphill fight on. We could have gone 3 games clear in 4th, maybe 3rd. And, we just, as a young group, we didn't realise the opportunity that was in front of us and we've just gone backwards. So
it's a bit of a recurring theme with Hobart. You occasionally drop a game you're expected to win. Is that a concern or a side that the side can sometimes get ahead of itself?
Yeah, I think definitely the latter part of that statement. I think we get ahead of ourselves, especially after the great win we had against North Hobart at Bellerive under lights. We played really well that game, and we thought it was just going to carry on into the next week against Lauderdale. But you just can't turn up and not be ready to play in this league. You've got to be on 100% all the time. As
a captain, how do you go about addressing that?
As positive as possible. You can't be negative all the time, or at any stage really. You've got to drum it into the players, reinforce that just keep doing the right things, trust in the game plan, trust in the coaches, trust each other, and just keep reinforcing that.
We keep hearing this recurring theme out of Hobart about being a young group. Who are the young players coming through that's going to take Hobart from the middle of the pack to a premiership contenders in years to come?
There's a few guys. I think Brendan Johnson and Kurt Stiles. They've come from the regional league, and I think they've held themselves quite well in the state league, and hopefully they've enjoyed their time up there, and they'll just keep continuing to grow.
Yeah. You take on Clarence this week at North Hobart, starting at 11:30. They'll be without Brett Gape, and obviously he's retired. Cameron Thurley, Josh Green, Trent Whitelaw. Are they right for the picking?
Oh, I think they were right for the picking before they had the big loss of Thurls, and obviously Trent Whitelaw is a dangerous player in his own right. So to have those 2 players go out certainly makes our job a lot easier, but we're not going to treat the game any different.
Yeah, last time you played them, you were only a point down at half time, but then they kicked 12 goals to zip in that 3rd quarter and ended up having a big win. Has that performance been mentioned this week by your coach Graham Fox?
Oh, not so much. We try not to dwell on the past. We realise that 3rd quarter that we played against them was unacceptable. I think apart from that quarter, we lost the game by 8 points. So that was a big positive we took out of it. And yeah, we just got to go in with confidence this week.
For a little while though, that quarter was a bit of a turning point. You had a real run of form after that performance against Clarence.
Yeah, definitely. We knew that it was not good enough, so we knew we had to raise the bar. We trained really well that week, and it was just disappointing to come out and have that 3rd quarter like we did.
As obviously the captain of Hobart, what's your take on the seniors Colts 2-tier proposal or set up for next season that's been announced in the last week or so?
I disagree with it. I think you can't really have a strong football club without a reserves competition. You've got your older guys who have been around the club for 10 plus years, and they're too old to play 18s, obviously, and I think it's detrimental to the league. And
you've probably got a great example in that in Justin Harvey, who's coming close to breaking a club record. Obviously, in this setup, he would have been lost to your club.
Yeah, he's the sort of the main player that we think about in this situation. It's hard for him. I'm sure he'd love to be playing seniors, and if he can get in and cement his spot, then it won't be a worry. But form, all that sort of stuff comes into play, and hopefully he sticks around and can get that record, as you say.
Now to look at the rest of the games for round 12. Interesting game at Windsor Park. Launceston 2nd v North Launceston 4th, both with a 7-4 record. What's your tip there?
After Launceston's performance last week against Devonport, you'd be hard pressed to tip against them. North Launceston were good last week. Obviously, they got the points against us. Quick hands. They run really hard, but I'd tip Launceston.
Do you think Launceston's now maybe emerged as the 2nd best team in the competition?
Over the next few weeks, I think we'll find that out. Yeah. I mean, not taking anything away from them. Every side can come out and have a great game every now and then, but obviously they're a good side. They didn't win 3 flags in a row for no reason.
Glenorchy at home to Lauderdale. Glenorchy 6th. Lauderdale bringing up the
Lauderdale got the upset out there last time, so they'll be definitely looking to do the same again, but given Glenorchy's form over the last couple of weeks, I'll tip them.
Burnie at home to Devonport, the coastal rivals.
You'd expect Devonport to bounce back from last week's big loss to Launceston.
And of course you're playing a double header at North Hobart Oval, the game following you, North Hobart v South Lonnie, with probably North Hobart's form dipping off in recent weeks, and they probably need a good performance to get back on track.
They definitely do. South Lonnie, they're a young side as well, but I'd definitely tip North Hobart in that one.
Well, Andrew, thanks very much for joining us on TSL Talk, and remember, for all your reviews and game previews, pick up your copy of the Mercury or go to the Mercury online.